guys, welcome to the Allen Fabrication YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working on our first project of the channel, which is my 1995 F350 OBS Ford. And as you can see in front of me, I have this 1997 12 valve Cummins out of a Dodge 2500, and we're going to be swapping it into it. So let's get started by tearing apart my truck. And it's about 20 degrees outside, so we're going to get suited up. Let's get after it. Alright, we're going to start off by taking off the bumper, the grill, the headlight bezels, and the plastic sconce. And we're going to go from there. Alright, got all the front parts off of the truck. Go ahead and start getting the rad out, undoing all the hoses, and getting the engine ready to pull. Then we'll get this core support out. I gotta fix some cracks, and we're gonna have to do some modifications to fit an intercooler in here. I already have some brackets made or designed, so let's see if those work. And then we're gonna have to do some modifications to the plastic piece that goes in front here. We're gonna have to trim it right in here where the intercooler's gonna sit. And then these radiator mounts are gonna get eliminated, and I'm gonna use these 3 bolts. And then there's a spot here for a clip. I don't know if you can see that's getting dark out. And then there's a hole here, and there's an access here, so we can throw a bolt in there. So we're going to eliminate all this, so there's room to get our 3-inch inlet and outlet of our intercooler in there. We are going to have to trim a little bit. Alright, I went ahead and got a light going so you guys can see better. But we're going to have to trim out a little bit of the core support here in the front and a little bit in the back in there to fit the pipe going in. And then the mounts are gonna sit just around here, and it's gonna come around and have 2 different bolts here, and then I'm gonna put AC condenser back in here. So then we're gonna use the bracket that we're gonna get rid of the bracket that comes from here, and then those mounts are also gonna have the mount for the AC condenser on either side. And then it's going to come out and fold back up and have a little ledge for that intercooler to sit on. So I guess let's get the coolant draining, and we'll get the rest of the front of the truck off of here. Nasty. Jeez. Alright, so it's been a couple days since I last worked on it, and of course being Michigan, it's snowed and it's already melting. But since the last time you guys saw it, I got the cross member out, and then I got the transmission ratchet strapped up and pulled backwards. All the engine mounts are off. All the coolant lines, fuel lines, exhaust, wiring, everything's off. Vacuum lines. And we're going to go ahead and pull this thing. And there you have it. Engine is now pulled. Now we gotta get this all cleaned up. Get all this insulation junk, and then there's some wiring that needs to be looked at. It looks like it had a fire at one point, this truck. And then get all of this grease and oil. That's bare metal. And then we're gonna get working on some new engine mounts for the Cummins. I don't know if I want to go for first gen mounts first or try second gen. But anyways, we're gonna have to look at that exhaust, and the cab looks like it was hit with the sawzall at one point. It's all torn to shit. Shit. Yeah, the cab is definitely cut right there. I'm gonna have to patch that. And then the transmission's good. We just gotta get a different clutch for it to work with the Cummins. I already have a ZF5 adapter plate for it. And yeah, we'll go through and clean this all up and make it look good again. 7.3 is now out of the truck. She's in here to get some sensors taken off and some wiring, and that's gonna be all she wrote for this truck. And now that's out, I'm gonna call this video a wrap, and stay tuned for the next video, because we're gonna be adding some small bits here and there to modify this engine to fit into the OBS with the manual. And then we're also going to be repairing the core support and modifying it to fit a 99.73 intercooler. So stay tuned. thank you for watching this video.